Pinky to die for. Pinky to die for. Pinky to die for. Pinky to die for. Classic and techno. Super high. Detroit underground. 313. Detroit underground. 313. Detroit underground.
Hey everyone, how you doing? Lord. I just got back from a wonderful vacation, had a good time. I left everything behind, no news, no politics, no nothing, right? Come back, sit down at my computer, and automatically see some dumb stuff. I'm like, okay. Now what I'm talking about today is these comments that Jessie Jackson supposedly made while the camera was off or whatever about Barack Obama. Now, I'm going to tell you up front, and for all you people who are in love with Barack, I ain't with it. Not that I'm with McCain, not that I'm with anything else. I ain't with politics in the system, period. I believe it's false choice, but I ain't even going to get into that right now. But I'm going to show you the clip of what Jessie Jackson said, but that's not really what I'm upset about. What I'm upset about is this other article that I found on theroot.com that was on my home page when I got in here. It's one of the, big stories of the day. Okay, here go the clip.
Been talking down to black people on those faith days and talking down to black people.
Alright, now, this is the article. It's called When the Man is One of Us by Jack White. Ironic, huh? Anyway, it says, sure, Jesse is an old fool who doesn't know how to act, but his latest gaffe shows how none of us is really ready for this moment. On one level, it's easy to dismiss the Reverend Jessie Jackson Sr.'s crudely worded metaphorical threat to castrate Barack Obama for supposedly talking down to black people as the raving of an increasingly irrelevant former big shot suffused with resentment at the rising star who pushed him off stage. That, after all, is the sort of talk we'd expect from a lynch mob, not a civil rights leader who does not seem to realize that the times have passed him by. Even his son and namesake, Representative Jessie Jackson Jr., agrees that his dad is doing more harm these days than good. Pronouncing himself outraged and disappointed by his father's ugly words about Obama, Jackson Jr. issued a statement that, in effect, ordered dear old dad to keep hope alive and shut up. That's good advice, and one can only hope that Jackson Sr. accepts it, but in a deeper sense, his stunningly inappropriate comments symbolize the social, political, and psychological vertigo that all of us, and especially black Americans, are experiencing because of Obama's success. What? We are all, including Obama, in a place we never really thought we would be. And it has knocked us off our feet. We don't know how to act. We don't have a plan. We're searching for our equilibrium. And until we regain our footing, we can expect all sorts of bizarre behavior from people who ought to know better. Hold on to your hat. I want to choke this man. Anyway, we haven't really been in a place this confusing since 1954, when the NAACP's crusade against segregation culminated in the Brown versus Board decision and the walls came tumbling down. It's fair to say that we're so focused on winning that fight that we weren't prepared for the victory or its aftermath. We spent nearly 60 years since then trying to figure out what kind of relationship we want to have with America and with each other. For the most part, we, like Jackson Sr., have seen ourselves as outsiders battling for justice and a seat at the table. Our default has been to protest, and while that mindset has served us well, even the likelihood that one of us may soon become the most powerful man in the world, if that happens, how can we seriously argue that we're being held back by anything but the limits we place on ourselves? That man ain't got nothing to do with me. Anyway, That, it seems to me, accounts in part for the frustration of some of us that we're feeling by what we interpret as Obama's move to the center. We are simply not accustomed to one of our own playing real power politics. Some of us see his call for an expansion of George Bush's half-hearted commitment to faith-based social programs as mere politics, what Jackson Sr. castigated as talking down to black people. We explain Obama's support for the Compromised Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act and the Supreme Court's upholding a citizen's right to bear arms as attempts to inoculate himself against Republican attacks. I'm almost finished, y'all. This is ridiculous. And, of course, they are. But they, like Obama's Father's Day speech urging black men to take more responsibility for their children, are more than political posturing. They represent the first stirrings of a new consensus that places more emphasis on a public discussion of personal responsibility than on protest, on publicly delving into our own shortcomings and dysfunctional behavior. There's nothing new about this kind of self-examination, but in the past we've conducted it mainly in private, in barbershops and beauty parlors and churches. We bristled when whites in power like Daniel Patrick Moynihan joined in the critique of, for example, our soaring rate of out-of-wedlock births. They popping out babies just like we are. We've moaned about the negative consequences of washing dirty laundry in public, but such a self-protective mindset is no longer making sense because Obama is one of us, who has taken part in our private hand-wringing about the self-inflicted wounds that beevil segments of the black community. He hasn't said anything most of us haven't heard or said at the dinner table, but now, because Obama is who he is, the whole world is listening into the conversation. The attention makes us uncomfortable and disoriented. Does it really? So does the prospect that one of us might soon be in charge of trying to fix this mess instead of simply complaining about it. We're not really ready for the day when the man becomes a black man. It's a dizzying idea that is going to take some getting used to. And until we do, we'll stumble about like Jessie Jackson Sr. saying all kinds of crazy things as we slip and slide on the new paradigm. That's the article. Is it self-explanatory why I'm pissed? Now, mind you, this is on the front page of MSN. And I'm going to make this real quick because I know I spent a lot of time doing that and I only had 10 minutes. But why is it that the media wants to jump and attach and latch onto all of this extra bullshit that don't even matter? It's like they think that black people are so attached and so gung-ho about, Obama being, the prospect of Obama being president that we don't know how to act? Come on now. That's just a ridiculous assumption. First of all, Obama is in, like Flynn, with the in crowd up there in Washington, D.C. That ain't got nothing to do with you, and you in these homes, in these communities, in these cities, okay? And, why is it that we must place everything that we feel that we are on some external force, some external whatever? Everybody's oh God, I can't even talk. I can't even get it together, y'all, because this is ridiculous. Everybody stands on their own 2 feet. My accomplishments are mine. Your accomplishments are yours. Yes, in the past, some people may have broken some barriers that have hindered us, but it's not the hindering of us that isn't done by those who are the gatekeepers. It ain't had nothing to do with us. We would have been in there if they would have let us in. You understand what I'm saying? It has nothing to do with how we are feeling. We are out there trying to get it. We going up. We doing whatever we can. A lot of us in corporate America. There are some of us, on the ground floor doing grassroots stuff. It doesn't matter what position that you're in. You're doing, well, most people are doing the most that you can do. And when you're doing it, do you think I'm doing it and I'm black? Or do you think I'm doing it? Or when you're doing it, do you think, oh, I'm doing this for myself and the rest of the black community? No. You out there doing what you want to do because it makes you feel good. You are proud of your accomplishments and you're doing something to better yourself. Why is it any different for Obama? He ain't thinking about the rest of us and how we feel about him getting into office. He's thinking about getting into office. Okay? And anybody who's fooled and tricked into thinking that he believes that he is ushering in a new dawn, a new era for all black people on this planet, y'all dumb as hell. That's Pinky, and I'm out.